My Lexus bumper is fitting poorly and needs fixing. Upon looking closer, a couple of bumper clips are broken, resulting in sagging and disconnected bumper. Today, I'll be turning to a popular product for this problem, which is a plastic welding kit. The item I am using is from Chicago Electric, a brand carried at Harbor Freight, which in the US is a budget brand made cheaply from China. And this is the first time using one of these plastic welding kits. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money in case I wasn't happy with the end result. There are many similar plastic welders online, of which I will be linking to several similar models in the description below this video. Today's video will show how we fixed our Lexus bumper using the plastic welding kit, as well as our review of this particular product. First, before we jump in, let's go over what is needed to get this repair done, and what would be nice to have. Feel free to pause to read it all. Let's look at the broken tabs and try to get an idea of what needs to be done. There are two down low and a large one at the top. One of them has a broken dangling piece on the right side, while the other tab is missing the section of the tab altogether. To confirm exactly what these tabs should look like, I went to the other side of the car to see what the good-looking tabs look like. Sure enough, the tab is rectangular with a hole cut out in the middle. The top tab is still intact, but is splitting from the bumper. We'll address this later on in the video. But first, let's look at the contents of the plastic welder kit from Chicago Electric. Here is an 80-watt heating element, similar to a soldering iron, but with a triangular-shaped copper head. There's a bundle of plastic sticks that we will use to melt and fuse into the current broken plastic. Here's a metal stand to hold up the heating element and wire brush, along with wire mesh backing and an instruction booklet. First steps is to cut the wire mesh to shape. This will be used to fuse into the plastic to provide added strength for the patch job. Here I'm using tin snips. They're the best tool for cutting thin metal mesh. Next, I'm going to jam something behind the bumper cover to push it out and make the area easier to work within. Plug in the heating element and wait 5 to 10 minutes for it to heat up. Here I take a plastic repair stick and try melting it so I can see if the element is up to temperature. Here I'm testing things out by just trying to get the plastic stick flowing onto the existing tabs. I want to get a feel for things before I try and fuse on the wire mesh. I had a hard time getting the mesh melted to the back of the tab, so instead I placed them on the front side facing the camera. This was much easier to get to work. As you see, the plastic is melting through and holding the mesh from falling off. Now that it is holding, I take the plastic stick and melt it over the top of the mesh and into the existing tab. Wearing safety gloves is a great call since the heating element is super hot and isn't just the copper tip that is hot, all of the exposed metal is. Okay, with the tabs built up and cooled off, they are super hard, but also too thick. The next step is to sand them down. You can do this with 80 grit sandpaper as well as a Dremel if you have one to speed things up. Taping off the painted area will help you from sanding good paint. As I work the Dremel back and forth, I pay attention to the shape I'm trying to match to the original tabs as close as possible. I thin it out so it will fit in the clip. I test using the fastener for fitment. Eventually the tab inserts and holds. Okay, let's jump to footage of the top broken tab. Here I cut the metal mesh to size and shape using the tin snips. As always, the products used in the video can be found in links below this video. I struggled to get the plastic to melt through the metal mesh and stick. So next I tried adding new plastic to the bumper and struggled here too. Ultimately, doing the repair with the bumper attached to the car is not ideal, as the angles and space to work in is awkward. That is more of my fault for being lazy and not wanting to remove the bumper cover, so I end up deciding to skip using the plastic welder for this portion of the fix and go with JB Weld PlasticWeld, which I've had great success with in the past on other fixes. With JB Weld, you remove the top and squeeze out equal portions of the two liquids, then mix until well incorporated. With the gooey plastic weld mixed, I take the applicator stick and apply it to the broken tab, both above and below. I also lightly jiggle the tab so JB Weld can get into the crack itself. This particular product has a 5-minute set time and 1-hour cure time, so you have a few minutes to work it into the area. I'm trying to make sure not to apply it too thick, as a bumper clip will need to be about the same thickness to be able to slide into place. Fast forward an hour, I've tested the hardness of the tab and have pushed the bumper back into its tabs in all 3 places. I've also returned the 2 pins for the tabs below. There is still a slight sag under the headlights, but where the repairs were made, the panels are now perfectly in place or very close to it. Ultimately, for a short 20 to 30 minutes and $20 worth of product, I feel the repair is a winner in my books. A new bumper with paint and installation would probably run close to $1,000 these days, so this is a great alternative. If you have any tips on working with a plastic welder, drop them in the comments below. I was overall very happy with the plastic welder kit and would recommend it. I look forward to trying it on several other projects that are on my to-do list. As mentioned earlier, we've linked all the items in the video description below. Which, by the way, if you click on one of those links and buy something, shortly after I might get a small kickback at no cost to you. Also, there's a way to help small creators like myself via the super thanks button below the video. And lastly, it wouldn't be a video from the internet if I didn't ask you to hit the subscribe button. At least my pleading was at the end of the video, so you didn't have to sit through that before getting the information you came for. Regardless of what you may or may not do, I appreciate your time.